The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Look, I can't help what Ballard does. Ballard's just Ballard. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Chicago Hidden City. I'm Junie. For me and me talk, we're talking about NPCs. Why? I don't know. But I'm going to let Spotter start us off because,
Hey, everybody. I'm Intera, and I'll be playing Spot of the Nosferatu.
Hey, everybody. I am Mom McStabber, and I'm playing Dr. Taylor Hammond of Clan Bruja.
Hello, everyone. I'm John Levi Art, and I will be playing Dr. Magnus Sanchez of Clan Gangrel.
Hello everyone, I'm Glaciator Kai, and I'll be playing Bastion of the Clan Toreador.
And hi, I'm Maddox, and I'll be playing Dr. Theodore Smith, Clan Tremere.
welcome to the finale of our Act 2. Hi. It's not a big party, but, you know, it's loose ends. We're tying up and everything. Good times. So we're going to start off with two different scenes. One's going to be with Magnus and Ballard, hence the beginning opening comments, and then we'll be doing Taylor and Jackson. So we're going to start them up interchangeably. We're going to start off first with Magnus. So Magnus, where are you going exactly?
He's meeting Ballard at Ballard's boardroom, where he has meetings with, you know, the heads of different divisions, because 5. Ballard says Magnus is the head of one of those divisions.
I mean, you have enough for the pharmaceutical division. This is accurate. And as you walk in to the main part of the building, you will see this lady waiting for you. Or she's just standing there, kind of just relaxed. Do you normally have a favorite beverage or favorite kind of thing you snack on or whatever when you go to visit Ballard, or is it just
No, not when he goes to visit Ballard.
Yeah, she will just stand there waiting, and it's not hard to notice a gangrel when they come in the way that gangrels are.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll just
Hello, Caroline.
Dr. Sanchez, how are you?
I'm in a better mood than Ballard will be in about 20 minutes.
Great. Any sort of thing you'd like to let me know so I can prepare?
Yeah, forensic accountants, you'll want to make sure you have those ready to go.
Have those on retainer already.
I'm just saying you'll want them, like, you know, also just, and he just leans up close to her and just whispers to her, you'll want to have people around Sovereign's offices.
She takes one step back for a moment. Richter scale layover, are we talking between 7 to 9?
Let's just say I'm ready for if I get some of the backsplash from the well, you know how Ballard reacts to bad news.
Hence my asking.
I'm walking into this ready to get to soak some damage, shall we say.
Understood. And you could just see her kind of fortifying up as well. And she will walk you in. And Ballard's sitting behind a large desk, halfway reclining, halfway kind of trying to sit up. He's smoking or trying to attempt to smoke on a cigar because bad habits die hard. And he kind of looks at both of you and he just smiles and then, hi.
Good evening, Horatio.
I'm assuming your visit is not cordial. And he'll look over to Caroline and she is already on the phone texting.
Well, it's cordial as in I'm trying to do what I've always done and help you keep your business empire intact.
Uh-huh. I understand. How bad?
You remember I told you that you can't ever trust a snake?
Countless times.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we got rid of those.
Well, you let one have control of your finances, Horatio. Because when I said you can't trust a snake, I didn't just mean the ministry.
I mean, am I wrong? Who?
Sovereign.
See him grit his teeth. Go on.
So, I'm sure he's been telling you about, how well your businesses have been doing and everything. Slight problem with that. He hasn't been doing the smart thing of taking the profits from those and plowing them back into the businesses to make them grow. He's been, from things I've heard, using that to settle some of his own petty grievances. And then there's the fact of, his child, the one that got killed?
Yeah.
Were you aware she was given a unit of Ventru by a certain, well, now he's a prince, I guess. He was an Archon at the time. As her own little private fighting force.
Oh, what's
or did
his
Sovereign
name?
not pass that on to you?
No, the filly, I can't remember her name for the life of me. Then again, whatever. She was with
Arlak.
the Bruja.
Yeah, the usurper prince of Prague.
Uh-huh.
So he gave her a unit of all Ventru. Basically hitmen, muscle type. And then she included her childer to become kind of their leader. And when she died, I mean, you know where they all would have reported to, right?
Sovereign, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. He didn't tell you he had that fighting force, did he?
I thought he would have given it to Peterson.
No. He gave them to Maxwell.
I'm sorry. He did what now?
Yeah, he gave them to Maxwell. Who
usually see him sit up in his chair completely.
Yeah, Maxwell, who also right now has a certain abomination running around doing his dirty work. And considering that, yeah, considering the wolf pack said they were going to be heading down there to see what's going on, and the Vanguard, that's that group of Ventru, has already been clashing with the sheriff alongside Pariah, I think you're going to be hearing pretty soon that the Vanguard, that whole group of Ventru, again, that are directly tied to Sovereign, who is directly tied to you right now, they're going to be getting red listed because, you know, working alongside an abomination for a... I think he's considered an anarch right now. Maxwell's considered an anarch, right, Caroline?
From records stating he is anarch-like, but he hasn't renounced the Camarilla yet. We are waiting for that.
Oh, okay. So even worse, he's technically still Cam and working with an abomination and fighting the sheriff and, you know, others of Chicago.
You start to see the whatever, how you could think that he had blood in his body, no one really knows anymore. You could start to see that just seeping from his face. And his jawline is getting even more cut, even though he has a lot of skin underneath his neck. You could actually see it tightening up to form a jawline.
And so we come back to why I called Sovereign a snake, because when have you ever known Sovereign to do something for someone else for free?
He just kind of slowly rocks for a moment. Is there anything else?
Just a question, Horatio.
And that would be?
What do you think Maxwell promised him to get him to give the Vanguard to Maxwell?
He stops at that. He stands full on upright. No one really knows how Horatio moves, but within 1 second, he's standing behind a desk. Within the next minute, the desk is now completely smashed up against a wall, and he is standing right in front of you. He has not touched you, but he is standing right in front of you. And he just looks at you and goes, "How do you know?"
Because I use my head, Horatio, the same as I always have.
There's evidence and you have it.
I have evidence of the Vanguard. I have evidence of what they've been doing with Pariah. I have the personal testimony of the sheriff and the primogen of the Malkavians and others. And I expect by the end of the night, Magnus looks at his phone, I'll be hearing from a member of the Wolfpack I have contact with that they've confirmed the Vanguard is working for Maxwell and alongside Pariah. Because the Wolfpack's pretty efficient.
Great. What do you want?
I want you to clean your house, Horatio, because I helped you build it, and I'd really like to not see it come down either, because Maxwell gets back in and takes you out on Sovereign's orders to hand it to Sovereign, because then I'd have to kill him myself, and that's, you know, just irritating to me. I also would not like to see you catch blowback from Kevin and Naomi, because, you know, Naomi would love to gobble up Ballard Enterprises. I mean, give her an excuse by keeping Sovereign where he is right now.
You are not wrong.
But I'm sure if you have some accountants go through Sovereign's bookkeeping, they can find all kinds of things for you.
And how long until you leak evidence?
Hmm?
How long will you hold this evidence?
I mean, I don't personally have a reason to give any evidence to Kevin and Naomi, but the Wolf Pack? I mean, you know how they felt about Maxwell.
Fine. All right. You're supposed to get something from them tonight.
Yeah, I'm expecting before the end of the night I'll be hearing from them.
Got it. All right. Of course, I thought he could handle it. I
Well,
didn't
he
think he was
handled
going
it
to
so
pull this
well.
bullshit.
He handled it so well, he wanted to take your place. He didn't see a reason to keep you around.
I know there's a fat joke in there somewhere, but I'm not going to indulge it.
I will say he does have a child, a new one, that seems to be have a good head on her shoulders.
Ooh.
Should see about pulling her out of his influence. Because I
Who's
think
the new
she could
child?
really get...
Melina.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot her name.
Melina
No,
Ryan.
Her name is Merlina Aranyan. I may be mispronouncing the last name.
Caroline, take care of it. I appreciate this. And I know you are not trying to do anything against me, which again, I appreciate. I am trying to channel my anger.
I mean, you can always take a swing if you want. Just remember the rule.
I remember the rule, hence why I'm not taking a swing. But I will say this. By the end of the night, I'll take care and make sure Sovereign doesn't really talk a whole lot. I will take over his child, much like I should have done with his other. Thank you. He then kind of almost blips out, like as in he was there and now he's gone. Because now you start to hear a whole bunch of smashing. And Caroline will just look at you going, well, at least you're making it easy. I don't have to turn around and extort anyone.
Yeah. I mean, could have gone worse.
Well, you're not wrong. At least we're standing and we're not plastered to a wall.
I mean, you might have been. I wasn't going to be.
She smirks for a minute and goes, bold of you to assume.
Hey.
Shall I walk you out? Yes?
Yeah. Oh, I was just going to say the rule we've always had is if he wants to hit me, that means that I get to hit him right back. Blow for blow.
Valid. Thing is, I'm Bruja.
Mm-hmm.
What's one blow?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what your arrangement with him is. That's just the one that we've had since he was a fledgling.
Fair. And she'll walk you out. While you're walking out, somebody's walking into a new club where a band is playing.
Mm-hmm.
What band is this, Taylor?
It's actually Civil Twilight.
And as they're playing, this man, many people aren't recognizing.
No.
He's not dressed in his normal clothes, in his normal attire.
Mm-hmm.
Jeans, black boots, kind of a button-down shirt, but it's very kind of loose in opening. And actually an old worn blazer that kind of gives it more of that like jazz vibe feel.
Mm-hmm.
And where is Taylor?
Taylor's actually on the main floor when you walk in, where the bar is and the main seating area. And of course, the stage area where the band is performing is downstairs in the basement that is open to that upper floor because there's a railing around the center of the floor that you have the stairs going down on both sides, and people can stand and watch the show from the upper floor as well. So she's on the main floor.
Now, is she having either side of her being open to being approached?
Oh, absolutely. She's sitting at a table by herself, just watching the crowd and enjoying the music.
And as you're enjoying the music, you kind of see this large man kind of go behind, not exactly go behind, but kind of like has to move past to get over to what looks like your right side. Mm-hmm. He sits down, kind of just listens to the music for a moment, and he'll go, "Hey, I got a question for you."
What's that, Kevin?
When you have an immovable force that's trying to come towards you, what did you do back in the day? I knew that'd get you smiling.
Take it out at the foundations.
Was that literal or more structural in personnel?
A little column A, a little more column B.
Valid. Okay.
Because, if it's an immovable force, if you take out its foundations, it'll crash to the ground.
I was always told you had to go for the head because the rest of the body will stop twitching after you cut off the head.
You can do that too if you can reach it. If not, you take it out at the knees.
Fair. He does wear good Armani suits. It's petty to ruin a suit over that, but I understand the message. It's a good band.
Yeah, they're a new band from Cape Town, South Africa. They just released an album a couple months ago. Love them. I think they're great.
And you brought them here?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
They're touring their new album. They're actually filming a video for this song they're playing right now.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of takes a moment to look at the rest of the vibe that's going on. And he's like, interesting setup. I like it.
Thanks. It's just the start of what's to come. Mm-hmm.
I just toured the block.
Still very much in progress, but when I'm finished, it'll be really good for the community.
Yeah, Naomi and I went to that restaurant.
Did you enjoy it? That expression says far more than your words ever could.
I could just say yes and give it the discredit.
It's amazing, isn't it?
To sit down and have Mama's chili with authentic cornbread. You have no idea what that was like when I was a kid. The middle of winter, just finished shoveling, and all of a sudden you'd hear this yell for dinner, and you knew because you smelled it.
Yeah,
that heartiness. That I'm going to warm you up with 2 bites full. It didn't matter if you were poor, didn't matter what you had, but you had that warm feeling in your stomach, and you knew it was gonna be just fine. That was home.
I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. You need moments like that.
Scary.
Scary.
That you could come. Now look. I'm going to tell you something.
Hmm.
Don't get me wrong. Great people, good service, good food, good company. Got you. But when they can nail even your mama's, it's just not right. It's not regular chili. Your mama's.
It's exactly what you remember.
Bless my mama before she has been passed. I will tell you, that was like a kick in the gut, a knife in the heart, and oh my God, I want to sing up to the mountain shit. Almost made me want to go back to church.
Now you're making me wish I'd been there to see it.
Don't worry. Naomi got you. She took a picture. I'm sure.
I swear I love that woman.
Let's just say Bill's has it.
You're not wrong. It's probably already circulating around the NASFAR network now. Yeah, no, he's just like, I took a bite. It just sunk. And I was just like, slap me on my back and call me Peggy. There's no words. How the fuck do they do this, Taylor?
Magic.
Why don't okay, if these little, look, I don't want to insult them, and I understand that they're fairy tales, but if they can do magic like this, then what the fuck are the Tremere doing?
That's been a question asked ever since they came into be. Okay.
I'm serious, Taylor. Do you realize what they could do if
yes,
they had?
I had a meal I haven't had in over 200 years, Kevin. Yes. Yes, I know.
They could milk us for billions.
Yeah, they could. Yeah, they could. And you know what? They deserve every fucking penny of it for what they do.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But at the same time, Mama's chili.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you had a good time.
I mean, I swear.
So what
to
is
God,
this immovable force you were asking me about?
Do I have to say the name?
He just waits patiently.
I'm talking about Maxwell. He kind of drops his voice down a little bit.
An immovable force.
Have you tried?
He's a fuck up.
Well, we all know that.
Look,
I've already tried to do scouting on his place. He's got a blackout zone. He's got a fucking abomination. Not to mention this Vanguard bullshit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's fuck up.
Look,
Look.
I let Karlak know about that.
Oh fuck.
Mm-hmm.
How did he take that?
Oh, he's like, well, I was a Jescar then. They aren't going to hold that against me. I'm like, bullshit. You're also the usurper prince. Everyone in fucking Camarilla knows that, and they're going to blame you for everything. But he...
How has he survived so long?
Sheer force of audacity, I guess. Because...
Oh, so the Lion, the Witch, and the audacity of this bitch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was fucking around with Sovereign's child. Yeah, I confronted him about that shit. And yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Were you two at the... Oh, fuck, T. I'm so sorry. I mean, don't get me wrong. You're a lovely lady. I know you and Mark have a thing. Total props to you two both. But you ain't a lady to try and two-time against. I mean, I know this. You're a lovely lady and everything. I know, thank God we do not have HR.
It is past.
Fair. But T, seriously.
And I figured out that was the reason why Karlak got me the gig with Charles University. I finally had made my public appearance, as it were, not long before in this city, so he got word I was here and wanted to get me out and to Prague under his thumb before I found out his truth. Because he knows me well enough to know that if I go digging, I'm going to find the truth.
I mean,
But I found it. Because his plots didn't work.
T, how dense is this motherfucker?
He's a narcissist.
I didn't ask what he was. I said how dense.
How dense can a narcissist be?
He's
delusional. He's delusional and he's narcissistic, and he literally tried to gaslight me when I confronted him. And I'm just like, whatever, you deserve what's coming for you, and walked off. And literally, he's dense as fuck. He's dense as fuck. And, well, I've kind of set him up to fall. But anyway.
Valid. If you didn't, I'd question who you were.
So we'll see what happens when Vasily rounds his people up. But
do I need to bring an invitation to Vasily?
Oh, I already have. I told him whoever's ruling Prince of Prague during your convention is welcome.
Okay.
Because I'm the one that got him set free.
Ooh. Look at you. Damn. You're not just an agent of change. You are the change. Tell me I'm wrong on that, T.
So, Maxwell.
Yeah.
He is also a delusional motherfucker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He literally, if he had been worth a damn as a prince, he would have never lost Chicago in the first place, especially not to your sire.
This is true.
And him holding on to it like it's his fucking Carthage is fucking ridiculous. But he's got Modius in his pocket.
Oh, fuck. Explains the black outside.
Mm-hmm.
He's got keys.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Right?
Yeah. And I know that because I found out Modius ran his mouth to Karlak about me.
What's his fucking deal? Why would he want to run that shit on you?
That's a good question. I'll be sure to ask him when I come across him before I kill him.
It's fucking Rose. Why would he care about Bruja business?
Maybe he owes Karlak favors.
I mean, it's the last favor he's going to have to cash in.
Mm-hmm.
Look, T.
Why is he helping Maxwell? He's a Rose. Why is he helping a Bruja?
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
So, yeah. And,
Hey, this is fucked.
yeah, that's not all that's fucked.
Okay, what's now?
The Vanguard? Sovereign gave those to Maxwell. That's why I told you to basically ice him for a little while because, yeah. He gave them to Maxwell. And when does he ever do anything for free? You know he's getting something out of it.
I can only imagine what he's getting out of it.
What would happen if Maxwell took your throne? Who benefits? That's the question you need to ask.
I already know who benefits. And it's not going to be anyone that we've put into positions.
Yeah. We've eliminated some that would benefit. Son.
Yeah, Naomi did.
Son and Capone. Mm-hmm. Who else benefits? Modius. Whose child is he? Do you know?
Heaven actually takes a moment to think on this one because there are certain things he doesn't know, and I am actually rolling for him presently.
Yeah, and she flat says, "Do you know?" Because Taylor does. She's old enough to know this shit.
He actually shakes his head, going, "I'm not aware. He was never logged."
He leans in real close to him and says, "Annabelle."
Shut the fuck up, T. Shut the fuck up.
There's a reason I'm your mala, bitch.
No shit.
The most modern sounding mala in existence.
I don't like to call. Look, honey, yeah, that's the closest thing I can say to beat your sweetheart. Because look, I know there's a reason why you're my mom, and that's why I'm here to talk to you. But holy fucking shit, are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck?
I am not fucking kidding you.
Because I sure as hell am not feeling the reach around by getting fucked like this.
Yeah. I'm dead serious.
And that's why she's been pushing
fucking benefits.
Not who, it's what.
Yeah, that too.
That fucking cunt whore.
Now you're thinking smart.
Look, I have. Helena has been walking in like she's been the motherfucking queen of Egypt. Now, as long as she keeps to Elysium rules, she's been doing that. She's the only one in play.
Is she really?
Hand to God.
How do you know that?
I can tell you exactly the last time I saw him. It was at the gala. He has not been around since. Hand to God. I have not talked to him.
You know why he hasn't seen you?
What, is he pulling a whole, I can't,
I'm already advising you I'm a descendant.
Okay, what?
He trusts that I will lead you right.
I think you lead me to right because you're T. You are you. You wouldn't turn around.
You and I know
over.
this, but he's
and
him.
I also know. Well, the last thing he told me was to follow my gut and follow my instincts, and that's what's going to lead me where I need to go. Now I said okay, and he went on his way. But I also know my instincts are telling me to make sure that I listen to you and come to you when I got, not just come to problems, but make sure I've got the solutions, or at least think about getting the solutions before I come to you. So I'm not overutilizing you and not thinking for myself. So I'm looking at it from the standpoint of he's gone. I mean, he kicked rocks. I haven't seen him in a hot fucking minute. But I also am trying not to overutilize you, so you know that I'm only coming to you when I absolutely need to. And I trust you, which is very rare.
Then you need to know something.
What?
Come with me. She takes him.
Okay.
She takes him downstairs, past the performance area, down a side stairs that lead further down. And she takes him into her garden.
He starts looking around like he's not sure what he's looking at, but he's not trying to be disrespectful.
I want you to understand the reason I do not trust that Meneley is out of the game is because while I am a descendant of his, I am Bahari.
He nods and goes, okay. That makes sense what happened to Juliet.
I have no desire whatsoever to undermine the Camarilla in this city.
Didn't think you did.
I am advising you so that you are a wise leader to ensure stability of this city.
That's fair.
But you need to be aware of this to know what I am.
Because they're going to turn around and try and cut you down and make sure that they poison you poison this so that they can split us up.
Exactly.
As an advisor.
Right.
To me. Got it. Wow. Well.
And you're welcome here anytime you need respite. And
appreciate it.
And it is beautiful. I mean, it is a beautiful underground grotto. And
he looks around and he goes, I appreciate it. T, it's going to be real. I look at trying to lead people, try to keep people safe. If your people need it and they're in my city, they're under my protection.
I appreciate that, Kevin.
I don't give a shit about religion. Believe what you need to believe. This is not the state that it needs to mix religion in with the politics.
I get it.
Believe what you need to.
I get it. And that's what I'm not pushing my doctrine as your rule. I am not trying to influence you in that way. I am giving you the wisdom I learned in a hostile environment when I was alive ruling.
No, and I appreciate it, but I'm going to let you know something. People have already come to me and told me about shit. That's why I know what your religion is. And I will tell you the same thing I told them. I saw this movie one time, Kate Blanchett. She's playing Elizabeth I. And she said, I don't make windows into men's souls. I don't need to make windows on anyone's soul. I just need to make sure that they obey the rules that keep us all safe. And what religion is going to keep us safe is what you believe in your path. I can't dictate that shit.
Excellent.
So I'm letting you know what they told me.
Okay.
We good?
We're good. I just wanted to make sure I was honest with you.
Natty, I mean, this is really pretty. It's really nice.
Thank you.
I feel kind of awkward and kind of like a little kid not trying to touch shit.
Oh, come, you can touch shit. Come on. And she'll actually tour him around.
You'll feel like a little kid in a new church. Trying not to call you Sister T. But he'll just look at you and go, this whole Kevin Jack, this whole thing is bullshit, but at the same time, I get it. He wants what he wants, but he gave it up. Why would you want it again? Just to get squashed. He can't rule.
He didn't give it up. That's the thing. Loden undermined him.
Loden undermined a lot of people.
Yeah, it's what he did best. And took it out from under him. He has always felt betrayed, slighted, and deserving of getting it back. He's obsessed.
And so this is his push.
Yes. And if he is not put down like the dog that he is, he will keep trying to push.
Got it.
Because he's obsessed.
Understood. This sucks.
Yeah. Let me take you back up.
And I'll follow. I know I'm young, but at the same time, thanks, I appreciate it.
She actually will take his hand then And be like, of course.
And I got to meet up with Spotter, Naomi, and Bastion shortly. I know heavy is a heart that wears a crown. Heavy is a heart that has to deal with this shit because so many things could have been handled so long ago, and yet people just kept dropping the fucking ball.
Yeah. It's a reason I don't leave enemies nipping at my heels.
I mean, back in the day, there was a reason why I didn't leave enemies.
That is exactly what I mean.
So, am I scorching earth or am I salting it? Ooh, that's a question for the great star, isn't it?
Pass.
Yes, I have one. I can bounce a quarter off this.
And she smacks it real quick.
I'm like, ooh, Miss Taylor.
She's just like, look, there's some good people in Gary.
Yeah, there is.
You don't want to scorch the earth because good people will get caught in the crossfire. It needs to be targeted.
That's why I'm going for his blackout site, which is far from Gary. It's about 5 miles. Not even close to Gary. No technology, nothing. It's a complete black site, T. Let me tell you, anything can happen there.
We'll get in on that.
Cool. I'll even give you the kosher salt. You want to make everything kosher?
Go on to your meeting.
Well, thank you, Ms. Taylor. And he will actually give you a formal court bow.
She just laughs at him and waves him out.
And he'll just chuckle and say, thanks, T. See you later. And as he moves back up, it's about a good, I'd say 20 minutes after that. Spotter and Bastion, you are actually going up. And did you meet up with Naomi prior to seeing, or are we just all kind of collectively coming into a room together, Spotter and Bastion?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're kind of sitting there talking gently between each other, and the secretary brings both of you in, and Kevin's kind of just holding onto this little dice and he's flipping it about a minute. He goes, yeah, you just roll it. And it tells you the damage they take. It's this weird thing. Hey guys, how are you all?
Goodness, don't tell me it was questions.
I have questions. Whose questions?
Oh, he points at the dice. Who told you about those?
I used to be a crap shooter, and just somebody said I could make a game and play craps, but I have to make it a fantasy character. I still don't get it.
Like the Misty.
Oh my goodness. We can
Misty?
start out that. No. Anyway. Hey, Kevin. Good evening.
Hi. It's been an interesting evening so far. And you guys can smell the chili that's maybe sitting in a box on his desk.
Yeah. Business casual tonight?
You see him in the same outfit that he was in with Taylor. He's like, and Naomi's not exactly street. She's still wearing always an impeccable outfit and an impeccable suit, but it's more tailored towards the relaxed casual night. And they'll go, yeah, we decided to grace upon Dr. Sanchez's cousins.
How was it?
Ever had a meal that just sunk into your soul?
I did.
Yeah.
It fucks you up, doesn't it?
Naomi just kind of takes her phone out, scooches over to Spotter and then to Bastion to show him that moment he had the first bite of that chili. And you just see this man just like in the midst of finding himself and probably finally got it in one bite. And he just goes, I still can't believe you took that picture. And she just smiles and says, there's a lot of things you don't know what I take. And she'll just pocket the phone.
Ooh.
And he'll just go, yeah, I see why you two get together. Mm-hmm. And he was pointing between Spotter and Naomi.
I know.
He just scratches his head.
I know. It's amazing, isn't it, Kevin?
Oh, you're telling me after what I heard? Spotter's got game.
You know, I
Roses...
can level this building in one evening, right?
Yeah, I know. But at the same time, finding out Mr. Casanova over here is holding back on us all.
Look, don't be like that, Spotter, please.
Look, we're both Chicago boys. We know how this works.
Yeah, and I know that he could teach several of the Roses a good thing or two. Whole classes. Tell me I'm wrong, Spotter. Tell me I'm wrong.
I will say no such thing.
I know. North side versus south side. That's the whole. This is the whole thing of Chicago right here, Bastion. Take notes.
Always amused by that.
What, the south side, north side thing, or just that we can turn around and just battle with words and still end up with a handshake?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Anyway,
look, he's a Cubs fan. I'm a Sox fan. That's how we work. What you need?
Oh, let's sit for that. And Bastion indicates for everyone to start actually getting into the seats. So,
oh, it's one of those and talks, right? And he goes behind his desk to sit down. Naomi's just like, I don't know what she just sits down and holds on to Spotter's hand, ready for the blow.
So, dearest Prince and Primogen, it's a pleasure to be here. And both me and Spotter have been discussing a little bit about the favors that were granted to us and how they're being employed. And we found out a way to make it work in a better way, make it more efficient.
Okay.
It was actually Spotter's idea. Go on there.
Oh, sure. Remember our associate that went off to DC?
Yep.
Well, he has left behind a fully functional security company.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I had a couple people coming in last week about that.
Well, I can see no better way to use that company than us. Set up more cameras around the city. We have people on the streets, people everywhere.
Because let's all be real here. We've been doing a lot to guarantee the safety of everyone in the city.
Mm-hmm.
But if we had efficient people in the case, specifically for that, I do believe it would be better than leaving that to chance. We did get a few cases here and there. There's a but the debacle is still happening, not completely resolved. And of course, we are basically in a siege with Maxwell and the whole shit with Gary. So I do believe security is paramount.
No, I agree. Completely.
The ash finders are still up and around the city.
You ain't wrong about that.
Nope.
One of the leaders actually came to me week and a half ago, something like that. And they wanted to know what they were going to be doing because, well, things were not exactly left in the best way possible. And you know how months without certain things, ghouls tend to not be ghouls anymore.
How did that turn out?
Oh, I took care of it. But the thing is that I don't want to run it. I got enough things to deal with and handle. If you two would like to, by all means, I will send the leader over to you. She's the head of it. She knows both of our worlds, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And she has two forces, one that's human, the other one is kindred. She deals with both.
Interesting.
As in, she deals with what to look for, what not to look for. Different task force, things like that. He had a security force. He had a full-on, let's say, 7 or 8 different places.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he only had one head who knew both sides.
Mm-hmm.
The human side, she never really brought up where things are. The Kindred side, she kept notes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want her there for the rack, I will pull out where she's at now and put her onto there. I just need to know who she's going to report to.
Nice. And I'll look at Bastion. I think we might both have someone in mind for that.
We do. Yes. Do you remember my dearest friend Paola? Kevin?
Yeah. Oh, very nice lady.
Yes. She has an impressive portfolio, and she can take care of most of the business side of the business. And so whoever is this head person can take care of what's truly important. Maybe both of them could have a meeting, and then, we see how it goes from there.
I mean, I'm down with that.
Perfect. Both me and Spotter do have some other resources spent on security to say. You all seeing my dearest little plumer of Toreadors in out of Elysium basically every night. And Spotter here, he is the kingpin, big, let's say, big hat of the Nosferatu Force. So
I've heard him being called king. There's no mincing words on this one. I know where I stand in front of Spotter, and he actually, when he does that, his hand is upwards, not low. It's up. Spotter, I'm aware. I take no slight. Okay. I know that they are attributing you to your leadership within the clan. Better than a couple of people I can mention, but at the same time, you know what I mean? Being that I know there's probably 2 or 3 more in here that I'm not going to try and figure out and mention. But it's fine, Spotter. You've done admirable work for the city.
Thank you.
So don't take any... Look, I've taken enough shit as Prince. Don't take any shit on your own. You know what I mean? Hey, look, if you listen to T, she doesn't string you wrong.
T?
Who?
T.
Oh, no.
Oh, please.
No, we wouldn't dare call her that. Sorry.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, is it?
Wait, she don't let you call her T?
No.
Oh.
Well, okay. Being that there are 2 people with the name of T in your coterie, I am talking about Dr. Taylor Hammond.
Yes.
Not Dr. Theodore Smith.
Oh, no. We'll bust his chops all day.
Smith is Smith. That's just how he is.
I personally am trying to get the nickname Teddy going.
Wait a minute. Theo, hey, I got this. We can make him a Build-A-Bear and send it to him.
You are a genius like no other, Kevin.
I'm here for this as long as I can be there when it's delivered.
I mean, go on.
Of course you can be there, Spotter. There's always 3 Nosferatu in the room. I assume one of you, on one time, you are taking the rotation off.
You need to understand there's a waiting list.
I mean, I think of it this way. We can Build-A-Bear that has not only... Dude. Okay, have you guys ever seen Marvel?
The comic books thing.
Yeah. We can do totally a Doctor Strange kind of teddy bear, which mixes the doctor in with the mystical arts.
Okay.
I will take your word for it, Kevin.
So we can have him with the doctor's bag because, look, and I may have seen footage of him running with the doctor's bag like this. it was entertaining, but at the same time, you could do a whole mystical thing that's kind of like, Tremere.
We really should have burned away out that footage for Masquerade purposes, but I'm so glad it wasn't burned.
Oh no! I saw it prior to it being redacted.
Oh, it's no problem. It's no problem. I'm great. I'm thankful for this information that someone else saw that.
Honestly. Oh yeah, it was hilarious. I loved it. I was like, hell yeah, doctor, you get yours. So you put the bag down when you run.
No, I'm pretty sure that bag is so important. Like it must have at least an entire labyrinth of paraphernalia there. But to not get ahead of ourselves in our lovely banter, okay, I do believe that settles the part of business of the business meeting.
Oh, okay. There's more business?
No, that settles it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Then that's it.
Yeah, if you're okay with it, Naomi, are you okay with it as well? I assumed most of the assets of the city are in your hands, so it's either you or Ballard. And
she just smirks and says, "Yeah, I just got a text from Ballard. Dr. Sanchez apparently visited him. It was an interesting reaction."
By interesting, do you mean do we need a new gangrel to our coterie because the current one was eating?
Oh, no. No. Junie's trying to. Naomi is trying to not like laugh, but she just smiles and goes, no. I have a feeling that if Ballard could have swallowed Sanchez would have busted out of him like a Kool-Aid man.
Let's not enter on how inappropriate that phrase was. Continue.
Yes.
Yeah. But she kind of keeps holding on to Spotter's hand, going like, I think I'm good with this and I have no problem. I think great idea. You guys all are doing excellent. And what you guys did for us, of course, I'm very happy to give those boons out to you all, especially for what has happened recently. But no, I don't have a problem with this at all. And
okay, that's good to know. So just a little heads up. And I've been doing some investigations. I do believe, Spotter, you and your group have done them as well in regards to the Ash Finders. Yes, I've been trying all my resources and things. They have a way to track if kindred are around and then vanish as soon as they get close. So, yeah, that's why it was a big fat zero information. Yeah.
Yes.
We want to have not kindred involved in this. And I would say even ghouls might be at risk of being detected.
We spent all week looking for those bastards, and you were always just a little late.
Yes. You would be surprised at how much things make sense when you look at a party list.
He kind of just pats where his chili is and says, do you think the doctor could actually get some of his, shall we say, cousins?
We can certainly ask.
And I know that you guys know of the wolves.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, we will try our end in regards to that. Magnus has a whole menagerie of contacts. But also...
I mean, between him and T, I swear to God.
T. Okay, and the other comment I would like to give you is about a prickly thorn. Specifically, his name is Modius. Are you aware of him?
This is the second conversation where that name has come up. Yes.
Did T bring him up as well?
Oh, T knows everything. I mean, you want to talk about the pulse of the fucking city. He is your woman to be at.
Interesting. What
I'm surprised you don't talk to T.
Oh, I talk to T all the time.
Okay.
But leaving aside the kitchenware, and we should.
Wait a minute. How did kitchenware get involved in this?
Oh, you're talking about tea.
Taylor, T, Dr. Should I just say Dr. T and like Mr. T?
I'm just taking the piss with you. Don't worry. Anyway.
Wait, no. That's going with consent and in a bathroom, and you ain't. I don't need to do that anymore. You don't have to shake it. We're good.
I love your sense of humor, Kevin.
Thanks. I think I need it right now.
The whole thing about Modios.
Yeah.
He is chowder of Annabelle. I'm sure you are aware of that.
Yeah, that was brought to my attention.
Okay. Apparently, he is dealing with Maxwell directly, and he's being very elusive. I did all findings I could, and apparently he is going off in a hermit-style way of hiding himself, dressing up like homeless people, of the sorts. And the biggest problem is that apparently he has information on how to get to Maxwell. And to get to Maxwell, I mean through his defenses.
You're looking for the keys.
Of course. I did have some talks with our lovely sheriff, and she seems to be in desperate need of deputies. So I wanted to, try and be a little of help.
No, I get you. I get you totally, Bastion. Look, Spotter, Bastion, I appreciate you coming to me about this stuff. Really, I do.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can summon that bitch.
You're going to try and coerce Annabelle to try and summon him?
Wrong bitch. I'm sorry. I'm not talking about pancake ass. I'm talking about Loofer boy. As in, apparently she can't handle her child. I'm going to summon Modius.
Well, if you need any help with that, I'm sure everyone will be delighted to be with you, Kevin.
He grins as, let's just say this. And he'll walk over and kind of gently put a hand on Bastion's shoulder. When I summon someone, it's not normally for a social call. And I'm going to pluck every fucking petal off of his bony, scrawny, dead ass.
I'm so glad that I'm not of her lineage, because apparently the part of the ass is hereditary.
Dude, I've got an ass you can bounce a quarter off of. I don't even want to touch it. I can't find it.
I'm glad, however, that you're going to deal with this, Kevin. The whole of my coterie, and I'm sure Spotter here agrees with me, is very tired of dealing with this whole problem.
Yeah. No, I got you.
So if we can find a solution, well, you know my services.
No, guys, gentlemen, I appreciate this. I'm going to summon him. Now and we are going to, let's just say, have a talk.
Very well.
Because let's just put it this way. 2 venture in a row. And I'm sure Spotter knows some of her hidden talents. I think he's going to regret fucking with you guys and Chicago in the worst way possible.
Yeah.
And Naomi's just sitting there like,
I am done, I do believe. I don't have anything else to bring up. Spotter, do you have anything?
I do. One quick thing.
Mm-hmm.
This has been super productive.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a lot of fronts right now. And I'm worried that we're getting spread thin.
Which front do you want to work on most? That's the question.
I think we need to work on the ash finders first.
Okay.
Because that could seriously cut us off at the ankles.
Yes, I did speak with a few other contacts of mine. And if we are spread too thin, that's exactly the type of opportunity this Sabat is looking for.
You're not wrong. How about this? I summon Modius tonight. I find out the information I need from him, throw his ass out, and then I will make sure that I have a team specifically for ash finders. And I'll try and see if I can get a hold of Dr. Sanchez and T and see if I could turn around and get things put together. Maybe get a coalition of people, because it's not just our front they're fucking with. They're fucking on all of us.
Right. Because not only...
yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. The moment the SI find out, we're all dead, ain't it?
Right. That's with the wolf pack and the sheriff down south.
Exactly. And while you are handling that, both me and Spotter here are going to take a closer eye into the city to guarantee that nothing runs amok.
No, I appreciate it.
It's our city.
Absolutely. We've got to stand up and handle it. Whether it's north side or south side, we're still here.
Yeah. You're a filthy Sox fan or a cool Cubs fan.
Listen here, you filthy, dirty Cubs fan.
As soon as he says that, I just turn to Naomi and squeeze her hand.
She squeezes right back, and she just winks. And then Kevin's like, wow, king of all the Nosferatu, turning his head. I see no try smooch you trying to be.
If you want attention, Kevin, you can always give me a hug.
Oh, see, look at Rose knows how to treat a prince. Wow. All right, guys.
I know how to treat a queen, so.
Damn. I think I need some aloe for that burn. Damn.
Water genuinely chuckles at that.
What you need is a notebook, because that one you should take lessons for.
Are you kidding? He is a burn book. Have you met him? All right, gentlemen. I appreciate it. Naomi and I are going to get going tonight. You don't,
Very well.
Of course, if the king of the Nosferatu doesn't mind me borrowing his queen. Oh, thank you, sir.
It's always lovely meeting with the both of you.
Likewise. And as you guys head off, Theo, where are you?
Currently meeting in a lovely, I'm sure slightly disorganized office that Tracy has taken up in the Chantry, as she's, in charge of it.
She is indeed, and she's actually knocked off a wall. And it's in the midst of construction, of being deconstructioned, because only so many times you can hit things with a sledgehammer and then get tired of it. And she's got books all over the place. She's got files and stacks up, and she's kind of walking over, highlighting her mouth, looking at some stuff, going back and forth, and kind of pinning things to the wall. And it looks like this weird kind of graph of different things and pictures, and the ribbons it's the strings, and it's different colors, and she's kind of putting things together in a grand kind of picture.
There is a certain simplicity to color coding, isn't there?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have the space, but I'm working on it. I'm still trying to open up that wall, and how the Bruja have such fucking strength, I still don't know.
I feel like there's other ways you could get the wall to do what you wanted, though. It wouldn't need to just be brute force.
Have you met Bells?
Yes.
She already offered me C4.
Inside of a building? I don't know much
Just
about
nods.
explosives, but that just seems reckless.
It's explosions. I've been trying to put together the right kind of classes, the right kind of students. I've almost got it. I just need that wall over there, and then we're good. At least for the moment. What can I do for you?
Well, primarily I came to have a quick discussion, but also just check in. I'm sure, as someone who's never had to run one, I'm sure running a chantry can have certain stresses. So if there's any ways that you may want assistance or a bit of delegation, I can offer small help here and there.
I thought we made you the magister.
I am. And as I can see from the collection of pink strings over there connecting to all the young apprentices that I'm currently working with, you've already accounted for that.
Correct.
And despite my rather convoluted schedule at the moment, I'm still more than willing to pitch in. I helped establish this fucking chantry. If I let it just crumble away, I would feel responsible.
Which is apropos. We still have to deal with leadership.
Yes. Which brings me to my second point. A random idea I had. I contacted you just a little while ago about one Sun Chi.
Oh, yes.
Do you want to hear my idea?
She kind of just puts the chalk down, slowly sits down, and kind of takes her spoon and stirs it in the tea that she had.
Theo sits across from her.
Try and find some calm. Okay, I'm here for it.
We need a primogen.
You're not suggesting Sun Chi.
Why not?
How do I put this in the most eloquently blunt terms? You don't put a sun in the middle of you don't put the sun in the middle of water to see it shine. It's going to boil everything. The moment she gets pissed off, things are going to blow up.
Pissed off? You mentioned she had a temper, but do you really think that she would jeopardize something just for a quick emotional reaction?
You've seen the roses. Do you think they'll compromise anything to try and find the buttons to push to set her off?
If she were alone.
Do you suggest we have a babysitter because we need our primogen needs a babysitter?
I'm suggesting that every primogen should have a whip.
And to whom do you suggest be her whip?
Oh, that part I haven't sussed out just yet. I'm working on it. The reason I recommend her is because, truly, I don't believe she has much stake within the city. From everyone I've spoken to about her, from every bit of information I've gathered, she is wholly her own entity more than she is something deeply interwoven. She is a part of the city, as everyone is. The city interconnects.
And you want her to be an anchor.
Now you see it. And as someone who has no true stake even in clan matters, she can approach primogenship objectively. And then we just have someone more cool-headed to help balance out any sort of aggravation she may feel.
To her being the voice and somebody else to smooth out the wrinkles afterwards. Got it. Not a bad idea.
Irons may be hot, but they still press clothes just the same.
Wow, that's a reference I haven't heard in ages.
Ages? It's 2010. People still use irons.
Wasn't referring to that iron.
Oh. Not what I was going for, but I take your meaning.
Wow. Okay. No, I see it. I understand.
Just something to think on. You are ultimately, I believe, the arbiter of that decision, as you are currently head of clan. acting head of clan.
Yes, because nobody can seem to find Abraham. Not that I'm looking for him. And I have a feeling I know where he's at. Question is, has she done it yet?
We could always simply ask.
Do you want to know? Or can that be Schrodinger's Tremere?
I will not be upset if I never get a confirmation, but if a small jar of ash happens to wind up on my desk, I wouldn't turn it down. Not even all of it, just part of it, just for my own verification.
Verification is all we have in this life at times.
Although there is now a really good restaurant that can also help substitute other things, if you haven't already heard of it.
Oh, being here and hearing all of the new things that are going on with all of the other lovely Tremere coming in and out and in and out. Oh, I've heard. And now I have people asking me how to do this.
It really is something we should have started figuring out much earlier, because now, unfortunately, we've been ousted.
I have people asking me about magic cigarettes.
Oh, yes. And Theo will reach into his doctor's bag and take out the thing with two of them now. One of them's gone because he did research, and he will open it and hand it to her.
Have them? What? How?
I figured they would come in useful, and I managed to get my hands on a small few.
What did you pay for these?
You don't want to know. He says, while internally knowing he paid nothing because Taylor fucking handed them to him.
All I know is I've seen this Toreador walking around.
I tried it. It is an authentic. It feels the way smoking does when you're alive.
You smoked when you were alive?
Not often, but on occasion.
Oh, I always thought you had a pipe.
Oh, again, on occasion. Most smoke inhalation was from when I was in my father's forge.
Yeah, I didn't have to deal with that one. I actually smoked before, but cool. I have people asking me how we could turn around and make food digestible. I've had people ask me about the cigarettes. I've had people ask me about wine.
Wine, I actually feel might be possible for us. As for the food part, only because I know a slight bit more of the inner workings of that restaurant do I not feel we could recreate that effect.
And you're stopping me from finding out how, or you're not giving me information?
I am simply saying that it will be a bear of a task.
It usually is when you're trying to find the knowledge to open up certain things in certain arts.
True enough.
Thanks.
If you can truly synthesize or recreate the effects of Fey magic, then by all means.
Oh, shit.
Unfortunately, there seems to be looser definitions on what rules those play by.
She pulls a book from her stack, and you see it's a regular rule book. To go, you see this?
I do.
She throws it away. You see that?
Yes.
What are rules? The mages have a harder time than the Fae. I may or may not know mages.
I may or may not want to meet them. I feel I've mentioned this to you several times, but unfortunately, this city keeps happening, and therefore I can't always find time to meet with any. But I actually have some questions for them if they would happen to know any answers. There's been something of a nuisance, and I just want to make sure that it's all above board.
Okay. I'll set up a meeting. She actually picks up a pen and she's writing a note.
Mm-hmm. While she's writing, I'm going to take a quick second to look over the conspiracy board that she can't quite finish. And could I do any sort of check maybe to see if I can suss out what the color coding means?
Actually, you picked out a couple of them right off the bat. You see the difference, the connections between the navy blue is more of primogens and the politics of the area.
Mm.
The red are the dangers, the threats. Oranges are warnings. Green are good spaces or green flags. And then you've already picked out the other ones already.
Okay.
And she just kind of goes, well, I'll have a meeting set up for you. Not tonight, but give me a couple of weeks. They've got some things going on.
More than fine. We have a couple things going on as well.
I'm sure from what rumors have been flying about. Don't get me wrong. Nosferatu are great with their information, but when you can get Bells in for a feeding or for a fitting, she tells you everything. Yes, I know that look.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
too many things involving clothing and enchantment, and I'll get around to it when I have free time.
No problem. Well, I will definitely think about the Sun Chi. I will, if you have any ideas for Whip, let me know. And let's
I can start
again.
asking around, see who would be interested, because that will be a factor. Interest oftentimes leads to better results.
You're not wrong. All right. So give me about a week and a half, and I'll come back to you if that's okay.
Grand.
Perfect.
More than enough time. And just for you to be aware of and maybe disseminate around the Chantry if you can, the Ashfinders are becoming, here, to use a lovely modern term, the Ashfinders are becoming ballsy.
Oh, that is a modern term for you.
And I am disliking their attitudes. I have begun slowly. I've only gotten a couple so far. I have begun some, I guess you could call them black bag operations.
Let me know. I'll help.
At the moment, I don't have anyone of any true influence, just grunts. But the fact that I got 2 grunts when I've heard they've been rather elusive feels like I'm on the right track to something.
You're not wrong.
But there's no information to truly earn just yet. I have more digging.
Not a problem. I'll be more than happy to help.
Fantastic. And in this case, your help will then also be added into a collaboration with the Nosferatu.
Perfect. Not a problem. I will definitely help you with that. Just say the word and I'll be there.
Excellent. I'll let them know.
Okay.
And Tracy, again, truly, if there's any sort of delegation lesson plan, you need me to sit in a room with several clan members for a couple hours, whatever you would need that I can provide, please feel free to ask.
Absolutely.
A chantry only runs if it actually operates
effectively and efficiently. No problem. I'll let you know. Thank you, Theo. I appreciate it.
Of course. We should go to Blue Velvet sometime. I'll treat you. And he stands up and dusts off his doctor's bag a bit.
I'll be, you know what? Tomorrow. Perfect.
See you then. And he will turn and real quickly just adjust a random pile of books just slightly so that the book on top is lined up with the rest underneath it. And then he'll give a nod and head out the door.
And as he heads out the door, this is where we transition to break.
All right, we'll be back in 10, everyone.
Welcome back. We just had a great first episode. Well, not great first episode, great first half because Jeannie can't say words anymore. So we're just going to take it right off. And first off is actually Theo and Spotter. Where are we going?
Theo's Haven.
Theo's Haven.
Mm-hmm.
Theo, what's your haven like?
Oddly enough, here, I'll give you an exact address that you can check on Zillow, anyone who cares. It is 111 Bellevue Place, Chicago, Illinois. It is a house that has slightly older stone brickwork, and it is, of course, in this sort of neighborhood, a house that is built connecting to a big row of houses either side. It has a sort of not egress window, but like a paneled outer window that hangs above the front door that has a slight arch in it and a stairwell going up. It's a rather swanky place for what it is, and in a fairly rich neighborhood too.
All right, well, good.
There's no one really on the street or anything like that. It's later at night. There's a bank directly across the street from this sort of area and stuff. So, and street parking, of course, but it's pretty bare right now because everyone's either in their homes or out elsewhere in the city.
Yeah.
And as Spotter gets up to the front door, there is a sign that says no loitering, no soliciting, all the basic sort of things like that. But then underneath it, with a sticky note, there is also just please ring the doorbell.
Spotter's confused because all of those things apply to him. He will ring the doorbell.
And Theo is actually the one to answer it. Mm-hmm. He is dressed exactly the same as you see him anywhere else. Although he does seem to have a slightly more relaxed air to him compared to like what he is out in public. His shoulders have noticeably, there is a drop to them. Oh, wow, you got here just on time. Come on in. And then he'll shut it behind. And in the immediate sort of, not foyer, because it more opens up into the actual living space. It's comfortable furniture. Everything seems older. There's even like a wooden rocking chair sitting over by a fireplace and all that stuff. Knit blankets over the furniture as well. There's a lot of how familiar is Spotter with different parts of Europe?
He is familiar with giant holes and being shot at in France.
Well, then for the few times that you met soldiers from the region, you can see there is a noticeable Polish influence in this house, but it's also layered in around. You see like jars of wet specimens, dry specimens. Everything's. It almost feels like how Spotter's Haven can be unsettling for people, but in this case, it's more like he just walked into like a witch's hut or something like that, where there's just components and specimens and herbs and just a whole bunch of stuff hanging in different areas. It all seems put there purposefully, but it's very not entirely chaotic, but it seems very widespread around the house. Well, if you would like to just come back this way, we can go into my study to talk.
Sure.
And Junie, it would probably be as they pass through some of the various rooms that at least one of the revenants would probably make themselves known. Whether it is Maiden, Mother, or Crone is entirely the ST's choice.
Maiden would probably be walking around collecting the dry herbs, seeing Spotter, and she just gently give a nod. And you see her, it's a whole drying room of herbs. And you see her just slowly taking them down to prepare them and get them ready.
And she definitely seems to be of a jovial sort, just in the way that she's moving and the energy that she sort of has. She seems to be early 20s, something around there. And
it's almost like somebody put jazz music on, but you can't hear the tune. and she's moving around to something like that.
Did Sputter know that you have revenants?
He's said it a couple times, but Theo does his best not to mention it a lot in case anyone who's not supposed to know hears. So maybe you would recall, oh yeah, he said something about some ghouls or revenants or something like that. And Theo will wave back at her. Hi, Maggie. This is Spotter. I've talked about him before. He's part of the coterie.
Maggie?
Oh, hi. How are you? And she'll actually walk over and extend her hand out.
He'll be a little surprised at that, but he will take her hand and shake it.
Sorry, are you not used to having people shake your hand?
People tend to react. And I just kind of... I guess you're not normal people.
I would never consider us normal. No.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Oh, no. Meant it as a compliment.
Oh, okay.
I'm happy to be sociable and friendly.
Fair.
He's actually one of the more sociable people I know, truly. And last I heard...
Yes.
He doesn't know a lot of people.
Last I heard, your mother and grandmother went out to buy some supplies, correct? They're not home at the moment? Okay.
They went to the flea market.
Well, so long as they're together.
Oh, yes,
I don't truly care. I just don't. Please, none of you go out alone right now.
No, we always go in pairs as per instructed, and they are out right now at the flea market. So I was just doing the herb collection and drying them off. And do you need anything, Mr. Spotter? Are you okay?
Oh, I'm good, thank you.
Oh, all right. Do you need anything, Dr. Smith?
Oh no, I'm perfectly fine, thanks.
Oh, okay, sure. Just let me know if you need something. Other than that, I believe I have a pot of tea going on shortly. And yeah, they should be back within about an hour and a half.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Okay.
We'll just be in my study.
Sure. And if you need anything, just holler.
And then Theo will lead Spotter back, and the whole house is like how I described. Like, there is not a shelf or instance. Even the artwork is either very old world and clearly like heirlooms that the revenants have probably hung up because Theo's not Polish. But there's also mixed in with just like really unsettling pieces of art as well. Kronos devouring his children is definitely one of those, hung in a prominent spot in the hallway. And then as he enters into a study, a smaller room, you see the window that is above the front door is now at the back of the desk there. And you see there is a computer set up, but then there is also directly as you walk through the front doorway into this, a like chalk circle on the wood floor. And there's different, like, feathers, candles, just different setups and all that stuff. But Theo doesn't even seem to pay attention to the lines as he just walks through and over the circle and then goes to his desk and takes a seat, and he gestures to the chair across as well.
No, should I not scuff this circle?
Oh, no, it's just something I haven't cleared up yet. Okay. That particular ritual has already concluded.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not surprised, but it's really nice.
The home theater system is probably the least valued by me, but my revenants were so overjoyed when they learned about it.
Would you say Maiden? Yeah, she seems nice.
Yes, that was Maiden. Her mother, Anna, is mother. And then the matriarch of the three of them is Wanda, who is crone.
Oh. Is it impolite to ask why they use code names and not their real names?
I can ask, but if you can, try not to disseminate it too much throughout your clan. Is my only request.
Nope.
The code names initially was something that we came up with when they were first assigned to me, because that is how my clan gets revenants. You do not find them, you are assigned them. And then, as we got to know each other, we realized that speaking of revenants, even with just their names, can oftentimes be detrimental to their health and existence.
Understood.
So
layer of subterfuge there.
Yes. So for the most part, outside of private circles, and a few spots within the chantry, I often refer to them as maiden, mother, and crone.
Perfect.
Because
Done.
then people simply think I'm speaking of some Wicca.
No, that's perfect. I will respect their privacy.
And they're more than fine being referred to either way. I simply use their names because they live with me.
Got it.
And then, well, I don't use a code name for my ghoul, Emma, but she is also, I think, slowly, she'll never be a revenant. That's just not something I am capable of making anyone. I'm not its Misi.
Oh.
But Emma is, while a brilliant chemist, a bit lacking on her knowledge of blood sorcery. So I've been having the three of them tutor her when they can.
Huh.
Because no ghoul of a Tremere should not know how these things work. You never know when you'll need to complete the ritual for the Tremere.
Right. Huh. Oh, interesting. So there was actually, Spotter's actually kind of smiling right now. He has a parchment-bound rectangle under his arm, which he's had since, he arrived. He's like, so I have no idea what this is. When we were clearing out Capone's old docks, his smuggling docks, this was tucked away with a few other things. And we, again, just found it cleaning. They brought it over and was like, we're looking at it. Can't read it. No idea what language it is. However, there was a ticket inside, which made me think you might be interested. It just said to Nikolai. And there's only one Nikolai in the city that I know of, or used to be in the city. And that's why I thought of you. And he hands over a fairly hefty tome, or parchment.
He was immediately just going to start looking it over.
The ticket's still in there if once you get the parchment off. You can see it says to Nikolai.
And storyteller, what is this thing that Spotter has just handed to me?
Do you want to tell him, Spotter, or do you want me to tell him?
I've got it.
It's made of sand. It's written in Sanskrit.
Oh. And Theo doesn't start saying anything out loud, but you can see his eyes now following the script, and he's mouthing something. Any sort of idea of what it's detailing?
Yes. Take one of the paths of thaumaturgy. And that's what you have.
Huh. Any chance I could do a roll to check exactly what path I'm reading?
Sure.
The only path that Theo really knows is blood and the theories behind the green path. He doesn't know too many of them.
Yeah.
Well, this is storyteller telling player, what path is it?
What path is it? Okay. It was going to be a gift from Capone to Nikolai. If I remember, Nikolai is sort of a fuck. So
you're not wrong.
And Theo will, like, his eyebrow does quirk up, and he'll look up at Spotter. Huh.
So I'm assuming it wasn't like a diary of him in his slumber parties and talking about boys, right?
No, this is in many ways an instruction booklet.
Oh.
Or, if I say the term conjuration, even just through the D&D lens, you know what that means, right?
It's when we summon something from nothing.
Indeed.
I knew that.
This is a type of conjuration that my clan does.
Oh.
Starts with objects, and eventually you can... to call it a homunculi is incorrect.
Oh. That's way more syllables than Spotter is comfortable with.
I have heard, I've never seen this particular magic used, but I have heard that one can make an empty body and then through various canite power can use that in place of themselves. That is at its most extreme level.
Oh, that seems really useful.
I do not know how the possession of Dominate works in that sense, so I don't know how much use I would get out of this, but it is definitely not something I expected Al Capone to get his hands on. And I'm quite grateful that it is now back in a proper sorcerer's control.
I'm glad it's useful. I could have been a shopping list for all I knew, but in whatever language that is.
It's also something for me and mine to look into, because anyone who can get their hands on our works is usually people we need to know about.
Right. Yeah. I mean, given where it was, I would imagine he had to get it from somewhere outside the city.
And there are many Tremere who will refute what I'm about to say. They're fucking liars. We are not the sole practitioners, arbiters, and wardens of blood sorcery. There are far more kindred in existence that know how to do what we do than we are comfortable with. That much they will always admit.
Okay.
There are some that have developed magics that we had to then steal for ourselves, as is common for most vampiric practice. I am not certain if what you have just brought me is something we have developed ourselves or if it was something that we took from someone else. Regardless, I'm grateful that you found it.
I am too, if it can be helpful, then.
And it also tells me something really interesting about Nikolai. He and I seem very similar.
Oh.
Because this is the sort of thing I would go out of my way to collect.
Well, he was one of those kindred that 8-Ball would always tell me to avoid, like the plague. So,
sound advice?
Yes.
There are, unfortunately, a couple of my clan like that. Although I've curated who I interact with. And unfortunately, and this is a rumor I would actually hope you would disseminate throughout your clan. Abraham has unfortunately had to leave on Chantry business.
Is that also code language?
Yes.
Oh. Well, couldn't have happened to a better guy.
So yes, if that feels like something that I think everyone in this city should learn about, not from me.
Got it. Bells, did you get that? No? Okay.
I only half can tell if you're joking, and Theo's going to use Sense the Unseen. Just because he's a bit worried.
Butter laughs, but he's also only half laughing because he doesn't know.
Let's just say you're in your study, right?
The most heavily defended part of the Haven. Yeah.
You'll just see on the corner of your desk there was a little bell there.
Disseminated.
Fair enough. See, that doesn't bug me as much as knowing that mages are watching me.
Who knows what they can do? We just turn invisible and you can see us.
And not always if you're truly skilled at it.
Yeah.
Although there are other ways to set up internal defenses against such things.
Sure. Oh, all right. Well.
Oh, and I suppose just so you're fully abreast of what I'm doing, I have been making great strides in researching stuff with the gargoyles.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right. Memory.
And, well, I have hit something of a wall, but it's not an unexpected wall. To say that that knowledge is restricted and I am fairly certain limited to only a handful of Tremere in total, or if we've entirely forgotten it, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
I simply know that there is technically a way for me to circumvent it, although I'm having troubles thinking of how best to do so.
Right.
And frankly, I think in many ways you are a bit more clever than I am.
I appreciate that.
So I guess I can ask you as a simple bit of advice.
Mm-hmm.
What would you give to a gargoyle who has their memory in order to learn things that they wouldn't want to remember?
You'd probably want to look. It's a good question.
You see the internal struggle I've been dealing with.
Yeah. Given their power relative to ours, which is far more, my method would be find something that triggers them, but that could be dangerous.
I suppose to expand on what would I give them, I suppose I'm more meaning something such as a gift, peace offering, trade, something in that vein.
Well, in that case, I mean, you would probably just need to go down the social path. You'd invite her over.
Oh, that's already been done.
Oh, okay.
It will be happening later. Probably not tonight.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it just ask her questions, listen to... I would listen more to what she doesn't say when you ask her questions.
All right.
That might give you a clue into what... I mean, she may not be actively repressing the memory. It just, it might be something left over that never got, flushed out.
The more I look into memory, the more I realize just how fracturing we as a species can make it.
Mm-hmm.
I do not even have the true finer control over what the mind retains. I'm all about action and what someone does. And then I also have the machete of removing memories, but it's just hacking them away from the larger whole.
Right. Don't want to use a machete on a gargoyle, that's for sure.
No, all it would do is dull the blade.
And probably tickle them. Oh, well, I got you. There's something. I met with Bastion earlier and the Prince and Primogen Stewart. We were talking about the Ashfinders. When I tell you, I spent all week with different crews of Nosferatu trying to track these people down, finding their hidey holes, their parties. We were always just a little bit late every single time.
That's incredibly worrying.
I bring it up because Bastion mentioned through his sources that no details, they have a way of detecting us.
That makes what I'm about to tell you even more odd. And Theo will reach down, and then you hear the clip of a doctor's bag opening, and he sets two Polaroid photos on his desk and slides them over to you.
What am I looking at?
You are looking at two young men who look like they've been beat halfway to hell. And they are tied to chairs with IV drips going into their arm.
Your work or aftermath of something else?
My work. Those are two Ashfinders.
Oh, good for you.
Just grunts, delivery people, but their thin blood's all the same. which is why I find it kind of ironic that I hooked them up to an IV to keep them asleep. But all the same, I'm not certain now, hearing how much difficulty you're having tracking them, how I managed to get any. It's only those two at the moment, but our efforts seem to be working, so I'm going to continue capturing them for interrogation.
Okay. I might reach out during the week then for some assistance.
I'm also more than willing to have multiple parties work on questioning them. I know I can only get so much.
Understood. I might know some people.
And I can promise you, you will be one of the first to know when I get someone of actual value in the organization.
Excellent.
I've been collaborating with Miss Giovanni.
Oh.
Which might be why I've found any that I have.
Well, that's good. At least we have some leads, but unfortunately, there are still more questions.
That's always the problem with starting on a project is you have to deal with the initial annoyances first.
Right. The good news is, though, we managed to talk Jackson into focusing on the Ashfinder threat first.
Good.
Just because they can, I agree. They should that could undermine us very quickly if that gets out of hand. And in the south with the Pariah and the Vanguard, that's at least something we can hit. And it's something, if it's a physical threat in our face, then we can face it. The Ashfinders are a little different. So a little more worrying.
Well, all the same, I think we'll be able to figure something out.
Absolutely.
It'll just take time, as everything does.
Yeah.
And would you like to stay for a game of chess? I don't have the 3D version set up at the moment, but
no, it's fine. I'm still terrible, but I will play.
Very well.
And as you two are playing or starting to play, Taylor, where are you in your
She is actually at the bar talking with Kathy Glens, because Baby Chorus is in the house. They are vibing. And Kathy, on suggestion of Nero, has come up to Taylor to talk to her about them potentially doing their rehearsals and shows at her place because the acoustics are so much better than the Succubus Club.
You're not wrong. But I do have a question. Being that Mark has turned around and bought Taylor's favorite flower, do the florists know what Taylor enjoys in flowers?
Yes, roses and irises.
As you are talking with Kathy, it's that break in the conversation, where she takes that pause and turns around and gives you a moment of respite, that there is a bouquet of roses and irises gently kind of put towards you. It's not in the way that Mark would give it to you. It's softer. It's more of kind of like a peace offering almost given to you. But if you turn around, it's Menele dressed in a nice suit, but he's not there to flash. It's more of I'm blending in, but more of a soft hello.
She looks at him and says, "One moment." And she looks back to Kathy and says, "Look, I'm happy for you guys to come in. You want to do rehearsals on Thursdays?"
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Totally down.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Yeah, do rehearsals on Thursdays. And when you guys feel like you're ready to run a set, we'll book you.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. I just want to get the vibe so we can see how loud we need to play, but kind of like keep it down mellow.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm down. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And she reaches out, my pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Of course. And as Kathy wanders off, she turns around to Menele.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Why the flowers?
Congratulations.
Oh, thanks.
I thought it would be polite.
It is.
I don't think you're welcome. Hi, awkward. How are you?
Yeah, you're very awkward.
Look. Things back in the day would not be so. But at the same point,
sorry, you can't club me over the head and drag me behind you. You know, it just doesn't work like that anymore.
That's just for people that deserve it. Wow. I'd never do that to you. I'm hurt. I'm almost, if you could hurt me, I would be hurt, but you can't, but that's okay. I'm all right with this. I thought I would come in and just enjoy what you've created and congratulate you and
please do enjoy
sit down
it
for a moment.
Yeah.
And talk if that is all right with you.
That's okay. I did request a meeting, so I appreciate it.
Of course. And what better way to, shall we say, have a meeting than in a place with wonderful music?
Yeah.
I miss places like this. Yes, I wasn't always the horrible warmongering asshole. Yes, I've heard.
I know your history.
I know you do. But at the same time, I enjoy places like this. I am slightly cultured.
That's nice to know.
And I would never turn around and hit you over the head and drag you by your hair.
Well, you're not quite that old anyway. I won't call you a Neanderthal, okay?
Thank you. Wow, Dr. Hammond giving me a compliment. Thank you so much. And he will actually give you a grander bow than Jackson did. I might be, shall we say, old, but at the same time, I'm slightly refined, milady.
I see. Congratulations.
Thanks. It only took a couple centuries, but it's fine. What's time amongst friends?
Exactly. So do enjoy the venue. I've done some work here to make it better than it was and thusly more profitable. But
it's not that, it's the vibe. It's the feeling.
What's the feeling? That's
what I like. Contentment.
Good.
So what did you need me for?
I am wondering. I am invested a bit in some residents of the Undercity.
Mm-hmm.
And Losatha told me that you had commanded her to remember.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
I don't need to know the history.
No, I'm not going to give it to you. I'm just saying that was a long time ago, and I'm surprised she spoke to you about that.
Yeah. Well, it never hurts to ask.
That is true. And you ask a lot.
I sure do.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I like to know the truth of things. And
not shocked.
Well, I'm wondering if what you did for her would help those that have been embraced as such remember.
It has to be done before. At least what I did.
Okay.
There is a power. But it's only in the hands of old Malkavians.
Okay. That was kind of where my investigations into it has kind of led me. I just wanted to find out from the horse's mouth, as it were.
I told her prior to her. He closes his eyes for a moment. I'm not going into the history. That's not my story to tell.
She told me you told her before she was created.
You're correct. She was something prior to her change. Somebody that meant a lot to me. And she knew what was going to happen. And she begged me in her most infinite way possible in the moment that she knew she was going to be gone, if I could save her. I would say I could have, but that would be a lie. And I know, Esther, you are far more smarter than anyone to believe that. She begged me, and I knew I couldn't stop it. The command I gave her was an old dominating.
Dominate.
Thank you. It was an old dominant power. That's how she got to remember.
Fair.
For those that have already gone through, you know, Malkavian with dementation. Dementation.
Yeah.
Words. I hate English.
Okay. And then she switches to Greek. Would you rather we speak in this?
Perfect. The power is called restructure. But it's only of the power of elders.
Understood.
And I'm talking older. And a little younger than me, but much older than you. There's only one that I know in the city.
Which?
He just smiles for a moment and sits back. There's your crocheting lessons going.
But she is younger than I.
She's more powerful.
She is.
And she's younger. She's more powerful in generation.
Yes, I know.
She can do that.
All right. I'll speak with her about it. You've been keeping tabs on me.
I didn't even know you were meeting with her. Let's just say some cute little Nosferatu that likes to make sure that I'm wearing the nicest clothes possible. Rings bells.
Yes, I know who you speak of.
Now, she didn't come outward and say that you were the one she was teaching. But I kind of guessed. You have that way with people. The lost, the broken, the people that need you the most, you always go to. I don't try to get in your business, to be honest, Esther. But your name always follows, one way or another. I will say this. I'm proud of you. And I know you don't need my permission to be proud of yourself. You're a woman of your own. And I'm proud of you. I'm glad that you are doing what you are doing for the city. And I will do this. Do you want a blood oath to know that I am not a part of anything? Because I've heard some people say things. I'm out. I'm working.
Are you
with the
going
wolves.
to leave her unchecked?
You said something to me once. You said, are we going to go around and around and around? Playing these games.
I did.
I'm not playing the games. I'm fulfilling my oath to who I made when I came to this country ages ago. I'm not dealing with the politics anymore. I'm tired.
That's
I'm old.
fair.
I'm bound by the oaths that I made. I'm handling those situations. I'm handling the North situation as much as possible. And that has nothing to do with the politics. That's more between the wolves and the Sabbat. And that is what I'm handling right now. If it wasn't for me handling that, you'd have a lot more problems up here. Leaving her unchecked means I have to come back into the politics, which means going into the circle again. So am I handling this situation? Or am I going back into the pit of hell?
That is only a choice you can make.
Agreed. But as I believe some Ventru has called you a lovely single letter, you're wise. So, Lady Hestler, what would you have me do?
Do what you feel called to do. If
Oh, I'm
it
doing-
is what you are doing now, then it is what you are doing now. I just only asked because I personally think that she will undermine herself. She is not as cunning as she thinks she is. She is just a beautiful thief.
You saw her library, didn't you?
Yes, and I took what was mine.
Rightfully so.
She is doing things here that are not your concern since you are not involved.
If she does involve herself into my business, I will do what I can to assist Chicago, as I've sworn to do. But I am not getting into the bitterness of she did this, I must now do this. It is she did this. I will now do what I can to help Chicago either repair itself or put her down. But I have given her up and I have let her go.
That is wise, Menelaus.
I think some young English woman told me that ages ago, didn't she? He looks right at you.
It's good that you use your ears.
I thought you were going to say it was good I used my brain.
You have to listen first for your brain to process.
Oh, Lady Hester, how your words burn. Did you sharpen your tongue before you knew I was coming in?
It is always sharp.
I shall mentally note this one. Do I have your permission to, shall we say, go about I promise not to hunt, but at least come in peace and enjoy the music?
Yes, you are welcome.
I would rather ask you prior to just coming in and, as one would say, walking around as I know I own the place.
No, you don't own this place. I do.
I know, thank you. I'm glad. It's one bit of Chicago I do not own.
But you can enjoy the music.
Thank you. I appreciate that. This is nice.
Good.
Well, I will leave you to it. Please
Indeed.
enjoy the flowers.
I will.
Okay. And he will actually get up and go down to listen to the music properly.
Mm-hmm.
And while we leave Taylor, we find Magnus and Bastion. And I'm assuming we're in the cell block, yes?
Yep.
Okie dokie.
So Bastion goes to meet Magnus. Kind of strutting around the cell block. Telling to the staff that he wants to see Magnus as soon as possible, and he enters the same place as always. Is Bastion there? Is Magnus there?
Yes, Magnus is downstairs. He's hanging out in the usual place where the coterie meets.
Mm-hmm. Bastion goes, Magnus, oh, it's so nice to be here for a change. I was just with Kevin and Naomi, and let me tell you, that place is oppressive. How did the Venture do it?
I don't know. It took forever to convince Ballard to install Windows in his office.
I mean, they're true pragmatic. Anyway, I did some discussing, both me and Spotter. We did approach some understandings with Prince and in regards to security. And I came into some not very good realizations. see the problem of the ash fighters?
I've been doing some digging into that.
Did you dig up the information that they have a way to detect kindred?
I hadn't, but that means that it's a good thing I've already been exploring other avenues to detect them.
Consider that no, you haven't. Now you're doing it because the prince told you so, so now he owes you a favor.
Sure. They haven't come up with anything yet, but I think that they've started spreading their feelers out to see what they can find, and both the werewolves and my cousins have ways to detect people like the Ashfinders. They tend to smell bad, according to questions, like worse than we usually do. And according to the cousins, they reek of banality.
Which I assume means something very discerning to them.
Yes, it's like the opposite of creativity, which is what they live on. They live on creativity.
Never allowed them anywhere near to Elysia.
Oh, no. They would not go within 100 yards of it.
That shit would be like radiation to them.
It pretty much is. They literally can detect it almost as if it were radiation and they were a Geiger counter.
Well, I've been discussing with Spotter the things we're about to do in regards to the whole situation of the security of the domain.
Mm-hmm.
And we secured the old company of security of our late coterie mate. We will vie to employ its forces to keep a better eye into the wreck. Eventually into the city, mostly into the wreck. Because Spotter did point out something important. We are with many fronts. We are dealing with Maxwell. We are dealing with the Second Inquisition, even though they haven't moved. We are dealing with Ashfinders.
The Ashfinders are the biggest threat right now, at least in my opinion.
That is true. But if we spread ourselves too thin, that's exactly what the Sabbat are looking for. Because they might not be the biggest threat, but if they are left unchecked, they might do something really not good.
Well, that's why I've tried to get others involved in helping find these Ashfinders, because the threat of the SI is not just to us, it is to any supernaturals. And thankfully, that's an angle that both the werewolves and the cousins can understand as far as these Ashfinders. If they get too many humans addicted to their I don't even know what to call it, but
it's a drug.
They get too many. Well, yes, it's a drug, but it's worse. I deal with drugs. I deal with drug addicts. This is worse than that.
Magnus, let me tell you a secret. Euphemisms can save any conversation.
I guess. But anyway, getting the cousins and the werewolves to start looking into that. I've got Ballard working to pull some of Maxwell's support as far as Sovereign goes. And that leaves us with focusing on the Sabbat and, well, whatever else comes up at the moment, you know?
Yes.
Because if the Ashfinders can detect us, it doesn't make much sense for us to be out on the street trying to find them.
Yes. And apparently we are going to have some progress in regards to Maxwell because he has connections with Murios. and Kevin said that he's going to summon him.
Good.
With that, perhaps we're going to have a way, a back door into that fortress of Maxwell. And I assume we are going to eventually have to deal with that ourselves as well.
Maybe. We'll see. I do know the Wolf Pack has been looking into what Maxwell is doing, particularly with the Vanguard and Pariah, so...
Yeah, even though it would look killer on a wall, the Pariah spelt not particularly high on my to-kill list.
Oh, no, I've been talking to the werewolves about taking care of that. That's much more their wheelhouse.
Exactly. Okay, Magnus, I am feigning being cool about this the whole time. It's been a lot of fun. Let me just... it's... You treat it with so much naturality. How you deal with Faye, how you deal with Garou, how you deal with... Man! That doesn't bother you at all. Like, yeah, just another Thursday.
I grew up seeing the Fae. My mother was a changeling. So for me, yes, it is just another Thursday. The Fae know about the werewolves. They call them moon prodigals. They know about us. They call us blood prodigals. It's just... I grew up with a different concept of the world than you did, Bastion. And that just carried over into my unlife. I just knew, oh, okay, now I'm part of that instead of just being a weak and outside observer.
I see. Well, yeah.
I mean, we're still weak compared to some of them, but not as weak as mortals. So.
That is true. That is true. Honestly, this whole situation is rather dire. I even tried to get in contact with the sheriff because, hey, she is a Banu Hakim. She got information about Banu Hakim. Perhaps to get information about the creep that has been trying to hunt down Misty, but that was no result because she's being absolutely blasted with responsibilities. She has absolutely no help apparently, and so
she needs a couple hounds and a...
Yeah, I will be owing you on that front, at least for now. But I don't know. Magnus, I am going to ask you perhaps a weird question, but do bear with me. I have never, after my embrace, dealt with cooperation. I've been much of a lone agent for the past century.
Understandable.
You do it so well. So, is there anything else that perhaps I should be doing?
What is the problem you're having, Bastion? Is it a lack of trust in others, or is it an unwillingness to open up?
No, neither. I am just not certain what is missing. What can I do? What can we all do? And if I need more. Because, yes, I've been facing the consequences of being embraced of my blood. And that got me to thinking, if I have done something differently in the past, what could have changed? And what I'm doing now. I don't want to have to deal with this whole big threat without being prepared. Oh, we should actually warn everyone of the coterie about the whole situation. I do believe we should tell both Taylor and Theo in regards to the information I've passed you.
Yeah. Let me send a text. We can just have everyone gather here before the end of the night. Magnus sends out a text just saying, hey, meet up at the cell block.
Okay, and we do.
It doesn't take a whole lot of time for the three of you guys to meet there.
No, Theo was practically on his way there anyways. So.
Taylor was just on the south end of the rack, so it's
Yeah, that's pretty damn close to our club. Yeah.
It's like 10 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes off a little juggling.
Yeah, I mean, literally, the show just wrapped. You know, people are still at the bar because the bar doesn't close yet, but you know, she can head out.
So,
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
How did the show go?
It was great. It was really good. They filmed one of their songs for a live video, and it went really well, and the crowd was really into it. Baby Chorus was there. They actually love the acoustics of the place even better than the Succubus Club, so they're going to start doing their rehearsals at my place on Thursdays instead of the Succubus Club.
Always good to see people who can recognize a quality venue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did talk with Kevin tonight.
Yes, you talked with him.
Yes, I did.
Let me just clarify one point, everyone. He calls her T.
Yes, he does.
Please continue.
Okay. He does.
He does. It's a thing. He's young.
I value my existence.
It's fine.
You say that now. Continue.
I'm not usually one to gripe about such things, but uppity brat.
You're so right, Theo. Oh, I'm sorry, Teddy. Continue.
Anyway, and she looks to Magnus. I did let him know about Sovereign giving the Vanguard to Maxwell.
That's a good thing I told Ballard about that earlier tonight.
Yeah, I knew you were meeting with Ballard, so I just didn't want Kevin blindsided by it. So I made sure to arrange the meeting with Kevin while you were meeting with Ballard. So that way Kevin wouldn't get blindsided. So, you know, I'm his Mola. I got to look out for him on occasion. But also, Mentally stopped by.
Oh,
fun.
Did he?
I had requested a meeting.
Oh, but at least it wasn't a surprise. Good.
Yeah, well, it was a surprise because, you know, he just kind of walked in and gave me flowers. But, you know, he was awkward. But anyway, so I had the meeting with him because I wanted to ask about what he did to Ublosatha.
Theo leans in a bit.
She told me that he had commanded her to remember before she was created. And I asked him if what he did to her could possibly be done to those that have been embraced as such. Unfortunately, it cannot. He said what we need is a very powerful and potent Malkavian to restructure them. And we know one. And I'm currently taking crochet lessons from her.
Perfect time to talk about that then.
Yeah. Oh, little lightning round info. We've talked with Kevin, both me and Spotter. We are dealing with acquiring a security business for the rack, guarantee a better surveillance, things like that. 1, 2, we talked about the Ash Finder threats, things like that. I discovered, and Spotter confirmed, they can really sense kindred. They can sense if we are close by, and they skedaddle as soon as we arrive.
That's why I couldn't find any. I spent all week doing it.
And bloods.
But if they're scattering, okay, I'm gonna say so far, like I put out feelers with my people. I've got Riza keeping an ear to the ground at the university. I've got, my security and stuff on point at Subterranean. I literally, if they are but don't they have to get kindred to make their product?
Guerrilla tactics.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I am familiar with those.
It's more of they have to meet them in their terms.
I got
if
you.
they're surprised, they have no.
Right. So basically, they just make sure that they're not caught by surprise. Okay. But yeah, because so far I haven't gotten anything. But okay. Yeah, I imagine if there's too many vampires in a place, they're not likely to strike there. Because my place is already attracting people. I mean, like I said, Baby Chorus was there. It's attracting people. But okay.
Yeah, I think the requirements for them to meet is to have kindred pacified as much as possible, be it steak, be it whatever drug they used on you, Taylor.
Yeah.
And final point, in the meeting with Kevin, we informed him about the whole Modius situation in Maxwell, things like that. Yeah, he's gonna summon Modius.
Oh, when is he doing that?
So he said tonight.
Oh, she's going to take out her phone. She's going to text Mark.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to be like, hey, babe,
What's up, hon?
get in touch with Evelyn. Let her know to let Juggler know. Modius is being summoned to Kevin tonight.
What? Damn. Oh, yeah.
Maybe he shouldn't make it back home.
Light of my life and the quims of my heart. How did you know my thoughts and processes? Get out of my brain pan. I love you. But
love you too. And she puts her phone away. Okay.
He will do XOXO in a heart.
Mm-hmm. But okay. Great. Thanks for that. I've just sicked Juggler on him.
Oh, well, that shouldn't take long.
So, did we just commit another case of incredible coincidence that was totally not a coincidence because it was our actions? And we solved our problems with a text message?
Yes. That revealed nothing that the SI can pick up.
I just love you guys.
But yeah, because I found out from Bells when we visited Spotter, Magnus and I last week, that Modius had been listening to some very nosy Toreador that were talking about my Khalil shit. And somehow either Modius told Karlak directly or Modius told Maxwell, who told Karlak directly.
Oh.
So, yeah, Modius is persona non grata.
See, he also perhaps may have the keys of Maxwell's whole building.
Excellent. She takes out her phone again. Make sure Juggler lifts the keys to Modius's pad so I get them. Thanks.
Sure.
So much intrigue. Would you like a bit of more good news?
Sure.
And Theo will reach into his doctor's bag and slide over 2 Polaroid photos that Spotter recognizes instantly over to Taylor.
She's going to look at him. Ash finders?
Yes.
How'd you get him?
Thin blood. I'm beginning to assume by luck. But I also have been collaborating with Miss Giovanni.
Did you actually get them or did she?
In tandem, I assisted where I could.
Okay. Not so much luck. Well, it was luck for you, but it was
luck and collaboration.
Yeah, collaboration. Yes, Magnus.
Magnus his phone had rang and he had walked into the tunnel to take the call. And he comes sprinting out of the tunnel and going to the door. And he just says, "We've got a Nos awakened in the middle of the rack. Misty's trying to keep him down."
Spotter just gets up.
Yep, same.
And Magnus is gone.
Yep.
Magnus is up the stairs and gone.
Taylor actually is huffing it. Yeah.
Yeah, Bastion is accelerating away.
Where are we going?
Well, that's right. Magnus didn't tell you.
No, he didn't.
We're just following him.
We're just following him.
You actually go up to the Cubby Bear, which is right across from Wrigleyville. It doesn't take that long for you guys to go. All you do is go up North Free St. Avenue. Mm-hmm. You take a right off of Addison, and it's right there on the corner of Edison and Clark and Addison. And
Magnus doesn't have celerity, but 7 dex and 3 athletics means he's going fast.
That's completely fair. I'm doing movie magic right now because you all got up and decided to go. Mm-hmm. So what you're going to see is people outside freaking the fuck out. But you're going to hear that they didn't know what happened. All they knew is somebody started growling like a bear and crying, and then they heard bones popping. And then all of a sudden the lights killed. The lights went out and nobody could see anything. What you do hear, because I'm going to give it to all of y'all, is you do hear at the behind the Cubby Bear, there's like 3 main buildings, one here, and then one here. And they form like this little pinch kind of triangle in the back. And that's where you hear the grunting, the growling, and you hear Misty like, "Oh my God, will you stop it? Please, just," and you hear this grunting because it sounds like she's beating the piss out of this thing. But at the same time, she's like, I'm sorry, just shut up.
Magnus just goes,
I call mistake and run in.
What you do see is as you turn the corner, you see Misty sitting on a tarp on a body that's kind of curled up, but not really curled up. But Spotter knows he's in the middle of transformation. There's nothing she can do, and there's nothing to stop it. Mm-hmm. And all she does is the moment she sees
you guys, she goes, manhole cover behind these buildings in the alley? Because that's what we could do.
There is. She hasn't gotten to that part because you have to run in.
So literally, I'm just going to... Taylor's immediately going to go to the fucking manhole cover and lift it fucking up.
Right. I'm going to grab the tarp, hug into the sewer.
And she just was 2319. I didn't know what else to do.
You did great. You did great. And Taylor's holding up the manhole cover.
Okay. I killed the lights. I killed all the music. I tarped him.
Good job.
I didn't
Good job.
Him. I didn't.
Magnus just drops straight down into the sewer after the Spotter threw the Nos down there. Mm-hmm. And I surged strength and I also activated prowess. And Magnus is just knocking this kindred out.
It doesn't take that hard. I mean, she did a pretty good job on this dude. I mean, she's gotten people to teach her, but at the same time,
he can sleep through the transformation. Okay,
exactly.
It'll be less painful for him for sure.
And she just goes, "Oh my gosh, he was normal. I swear, he was normal." And then all of a sudden, he got up and he started doing the Michael Jackson dance. You know, the one with the Thriller thing, and it really went weird when he put his hair all the way back, and I went, "Oh shit!" At 2319. So then I immediately killed off the lights, and then I ran and got the tarp, I tarped him, and then he's heavy. So I had to pull him. But are you guys okay? Oh, I'm okay. Yes.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Once the nos is out, Magnus just takes out a stake and puts it into him.
Mm-hmm.
Hurts.
Hope he didn't have steak bait.
Yeah.
Magnus does not care. Magnus does not care if he had steak bait. He's just
Misty.
No, he is not going anywhere.
Misty, you did amazing. Everything is fine. We have to deal with this, but everything that was in your power is done. Congratulations.
Thanks. I mean, I remember what happened with the other girl, so yeah.
It's
really fast.
No, it's good you were here when it happened.
Right.
Handled like someone who had handled it before, so well done on that.
The cinder block to his head wasn't too much, was it?
All right.
Nah, it's fine. That's just Brewha
Is Magnus
memory.
back up?
Yeah, Magnus is back up.
Okay, so Taylor's going to drop the fucking manhole cover. I'll be right back. And she's going to go to where the crowd is, like, kind of like freaking out. And she's going to be like, overdose, y'all. Overdose. And she will actually pop entrancement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Overdose. We've already called the ambulance. Just clear out.
Oh, he's going to be okay?
He'll be okay. We did CPR. Okay. It's okay. That's why he heard things cracking. It's okay.
Whoa. And then all of a sudden you see everyone filtering that information. It's about a good 30 people. So Missy did everything she could to try and get everyone out and then pull out.
Yeah.
Yeah. What Bastion's going to do is he's going to take a quick glance at his people just to surveillance cry the soul, just to see if everyone there is buying what Taylor is saying, or if we have someone really good at acting. But because that embrace was not left there from nothing. He didn't appear from thin air. So Bastion's going to surveil.
That's fine, and I'm going to give it to you. You don't even have to roll it. You're going to see that everyone was human, and he was left just like the other one that was there. Just turned around, popped the stake out, and then the guy, you guys know that he was in the middle of transformation when he got staked, which stops everything. So as they pulled the stake out, he then got up and started to transform, which is where Misty jumped in going, 2319. And if anyone who's ever watched Monsters, Inc. knows what a 2319 is. And from there, that's where she was like, I immediately have to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And it won't probably be until later if somebody does, the security footage to find out what really happened. Because at least the Masquerade breach was contained. At least it's not going to leak onto your watch. And you've handled your business, ironically enough, in your domain where this has happened.
And Taylor's just going to be like, we need to get camera footage of everyone who came in and out.
No one in the crowd was of suspicion. They are all normal.
It might be good to get some strategic advice from Neely when we get a second.
I'll talk with him.
So Misty on cameras, I can get my girls, my team on cameras.
Get someone to get him and take him somewhere secure.
Yeah.
Yep, I got it. Can we get a car?
Yeah.
Sure.
As a coterie is trying to put all of this together, because now they've had an unsanctioned transformation happen within their borders. Thank you for finale of Act 2.
Whoop! Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. Yo! All right. So join us on the Discord. That is where we hang out when we are not streaming. Yeah. We're going to be taking a little break from this before we go into Act 3 just for a few weeks, but we will be back soon with more of this story. So you can join us on Discord. We will post there when we exactly are coming back. Actually, I have that on my calendar. Hang on just a second.
Mama got everything situated down.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so actually this will be back for Act 3 of Season 1 on the 22nd of March. So, yeah. All right. So do join us, like I said, on the Discord. That is where we hang out when we are not streaming. Also, we occasionally do Zoom hangouts. So with this being wrapped for Act 2, we might have a Zoom hangout next weekend on Saturday evening. We'll see. Depends on our spoons. But we do try to do Zoom hangouts when we can on Friday or Saturday evenings when we are not streaming on those nights. So do be part of the community there. It's a great one. And come hang out with us. Also, if you would like to catch out back episodes, you can do that on our YouTube. If you go to McStabber Studios YouTube, you will find content not only for this stream, but for a variety of World of Darkness streams that we have done over the past almost 5.5 years. So literally check it out. And there's also a bunch of indie games and one-shots, things like that, and also some tips and tricks from storytellers and how to set up OBS for streams and stuff like that there too. So lots of resources and lots of entertaining TTRPG content for you. And if you go to the London Esoteric Society YouTube, that's where you will find our European GM Dr. Tiss's content. She has a D&D 5e campaign called Ishfel that she ran with us and concluded. She also has her London Esoteric Society Call of Cthulhu 7e game that runs on Saturdays at 3 p.m. Eastern there. And she has her 7th Sea miniseries that she ran in January on that channel as well. And there's a few other games she has there too. So do check her out as well. If you would like to get some merch, and there is new merch for Kansas City, if you're a fan of that chronicle. We now have a t-shirt and a travel mug, and you can get the design on any material that Zazzle sells for Kat's to-do list, which is kick ass, check. Take names, check. Be a dragon, check. And then Dracula, not checked yet. Perhaps.
Eventually.
Man, Zamisi are such fucking freaks.
Yes, we are. So yeah, check that out. But you do want to be signed in and make sure your settings are set in your account for these basically what you want to see. You can set it instead of safe. You need to set it for moderate or none for that setting so that you can actually see that content, because being that it has, kick ass, a swear word, I had to mark it as rated R for adults. So yeah, you have to have your settings set right on your account to be able to see it. So do check that out if you're interested. And check out our friends. Junie Von Esch, what you got going on and on your channel?
Oh, on my channel. Well, I mean, I strangle yarn because you don't have to. I don't look good in orange, so I turn around and make sure that I keep my Wi-Fi slightly free or somewhat free so I can do stuff. So we're making bags. We're also turning around and doing stuff like cute little amigurumis and whatnot. And eventually I'll get back to trash cans and dumpster fires because apparently I'm known for that. If I'm not there, I'm either here. Hi, I role play here. It's kind of scary when I'm not the storyteller. And I'm also on Ravno Archons' channel doing a couple of games there too. So if I'm not here or there, check the Discord out to let me know where I'm at.
Yeah. And of course, Ravnos Archon also streams with us here, plays in a variety of our Wednesday games, and even guests in the Kansas City Chronicle as what he claims is the best sire 2 years running. But my character claims worst sire ever. But but he's also our Mage ST on this channel. As he says, best sire. Yeah, my ass. But but he also runs games on his channel. Do check him out. He has a whole variety of games that he runs Go check it out. It's great. And of course, we have Mischievous Red, who does creative streams on Sundays when her spoons allow. And as she says, be a part of the Discord so you'll know when she goes live or any of the friends go live, because we do announce when our friends go live as well. And Rerolls, he does play in Call of Cthulhu on Saturday and also in Kansas City on Fridays. But he will be back on his channel in March with a new D&D 5e campaign. So go check him out. And then DM Daddy RPG is where you will find Jen of Thieves. She is Sunday Booth in our Kansas City Chronicle. She was also in my Monster of the Month serial, which was using the game Monster of the Week that ran last year. And she is a player in Werewolf on Sundays, and I only remember this because she said it last night. Literally, also, she is running an Everyday Heroes Ghostbusters game on Thursdays. So, yeah, check that out. And if you would like to support amazing crew of players here and our ST, show us your biddies. Literally, show them. Okay, bits and donations are distributed amongst our players here at McStabber Studios. And if you would like to support the studio itself, you can do so by subscribing here on Twitch. If you have Amazon Prime, you actually get one free subscription a month, and you may consider giving that to us. Also, you can support us financially through KoFi. Buy Mama a coffee. Yeah. That link's in chat. If you, however, are not able to support us financially, we get it. Oh, thank you, Kaylindia. Thank you. I had to read that twice to make sure I said it right. For the bits, the cast here will appreciate it. And also, you can support us for free, one, by being a viewer here. We appreciate you doing that. And also by going to YouTube, our McStabber Studios YouTube, clicking the subscribe button, making sure that you like and comment on videos that you watch. Doing both, liking and commenting, is what boosts us in the YouTube search algorithm, because their algorithm has been changed with their recent changes with the shorts that they do to promote those as a higher priority. So when people are searching for TTRPG content, you can help support us by liking and commenting to boost us higher in those search rankings. That shows engagement on our videos. We do engage with comments and questions that are left on our videos. So please, if you do that, it just takes a few minutes of your time and costs you absolutely nothing. And we appreciate you doing that. Also, coming up over the next week, what we got going on. All right. So Wednesday, Maddox here is back as ST for Changeling the Dreaming Stained Glass at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's our finale for the season. Yeah. The Ace family drama is going to come to a head. A few other dramas might come to the head too.
Denver will never be the same again.
Nope.
Regardless of what happens.
Yeah.
Just wanted to go to the cow.
Gonna have to go way out of town for that one.
Yep. So join us as we conclude this season of Changeling on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then on Friday, we have Kansas City, A Domain Divided. We are still doing Guestapalooza on Kansas City, 8 p.m. Eastern. We have Ravnos Archon back as Rurik Rakosi. Yeah.
Sire.
Okay, fanboy.
The look in Mama's face.
Okay,
The
fanboy.
sudden urge of rage coming.
I can't see it. It's a shade fan. Oh my God. Damn.
Gargle a little bit more. So that's 8 p.m. Eastern on Friday. And then on Saturday, I believe there is a Call of Cthulhu 7E stream at 3 p.m. on Saturday, but we will not be streaming Saturday evening. So do check out Call of Cthulhu on Saturday afternoon, and that's it for the schedule. So lastly, I'm going to say, please take care of yourselves, y'all. For real. I know it's rough right now. Not just in America, but all around the world, it's fucking rough. So please reach out to your support network if you need it. If you have a therapist, reach out to them. If you have benefits through your employer with employee assistance programs, utilize that. Okay? Utilize that. I've done it. It helped. But if you are currently in crisis right now in chat, there is a list of organizations that you can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Those lines are staffed with people that oftentimes have dealt with that actual crisis themselves, and they have want to pay it forward to help others navigate that crisis. Okay? So please, they want to help you. Reach out to them, get the help. It's important that you allow people that want to help you when you are in crisis, because you are not alone. And if the organizations we have listed do not suit your needs, if you happen to be outside of the US, or if you are watching on YouTube, please go to findahelpline.com. That site covers over 140 countries around the world. And you can put in your location and find the crisis support available in your location. Please utilize those resources if you need them. Okay? And I'm Mom McStabber. I'm a registered nurse. And I understand that the mind and the body go hand in hand. So please take care of your mental well-being and also your physical well-being. Get vaccinated, because the flu here in America has been hospitalizing the shit out of people. Literally. Damn near making people die. It's that bad. And then COVID's still a thing and still sending people to the hospital. So please get vaccinated. Okay? And make sure you're taking your meds, drinking your water, getting some sunshine when you can. And I know it's cold, so please stay warm. And if it's warm where you are, please stay cool. Because folks south of the equator, it's summer.
It's
hot as shit.
It's hot as shit. So yeah. Please try to stay cool and stay hydrated. But yeah, so do that. Take care of both mind and body. And lastly, I will say that if you in any way supported the fascist regimes that are in charge here in America or in other countries, if you voted for those politicians, if you voted for other parties that didn't have a chance in hell of fucking winning, if you abstained from voting when you could have voted and made a fucking difference, you contributed to this. You contributed to the world being on fucking fire. And you need to fuck off. You get no empathy or sympathy from me. And those that actually are not in that group, I see you. And we got to stick it out together. We got to. You know, we need everybody we can to get through this and come out on the other side of it. Said with all sincerity, y'all have a good night.